Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's Make Money Now coaching call. 3 minutes late last week from technical difficulties. I started trying to log in 3 minutes ago, and just 1 minute late this time. I see that as an improvement. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm excited about today's call. This is a subject and digging into a subject that I really haven't done on a lot of the coaching calls before, and it's on how to jumpstart our performance. Let me go ahead and start my slideshow, play from the beginning, and go ahead and share my screen. So this is, I find at certain times of the year, I have a need to refocus or reset and jumpstart my performance. Usually it's around big events like Christmas or kids going back to school or spring break and coming back from a spring break and things like that. And so when I was a Tom Ferry coach, we had, and actually it was Bill Pipes, the legendary Bill Pipes from Keller Williams, and Tom Ferry Coaching and Mike Ferry Coaching, one of my mentors, put together this 8 levels of performance and how to jumpstart somebody's performance. So some of this, and I've copied this from a training that I have taken on how to help someone jumpstart performance. So some of these aspects of this are going to come from the aspect of helping someone else to jumpstart their performance. So if the wording's a little off, bear with me. So just so that everyone has an understanding of who I am and what my background is, I'm an EXP agent and a coach. I was the number one new agent in Florida back in 2005, 2006. I've sold over 120 million in a single calendar year. I've listed 120 properties in a single calendar year. I'm a national trainer and coach. I've owned 3 different brokerages. I've worked with every major brand and have a love affair with all of them. I'm the former chief operating officer of The Real Recruiter and Jet Black Solutions. And as I just said, I'm a former Tom Ferry coach as well. So we're going to jump right in. And if you find yourself in this condition of not getting things done, not operating at a high level, not sure what to do, then what I want you to do is start by asking yourself and taking yourself through these 10 questions to evaluate your actual condition. So one of the things that I have found is we in the real estate industry like to treat every illness with a certain prescribed a remedy. And that is, it doesn't matter what's wrong with us, we will go to motivation. We will go to prospect more. We will go to, we need to, focus on our why. All these other things that we believe we should go to. But what I want you to do is I want you to take yourself through these 10 questions. Now, if you're not in a slump right now and you're watching this for giggles, ask yourself these 10 questions. You'd be amazed what you're going to find out. So the first question is this: how many lead sources do you have? Do you have a systematized strategy? And how much business are you getting from each? So 3 questions in one. How many lead sources do you have? It should be at least 4 to 6. Do you have a systematized strategy, meaning you know exactly what to do, and there is technology, human and technological resources behind you if you miss a day, and how much business are you getting from each one? So this is my first question that I would ask you if I was coaching you and you were having some struggles. Next, what is your current financial situation from 1 to 10? On a scale of 1 to 10, and guess what I have found is that most people, when they are waning in their real estate business, it's when their current financial situation from their perspective is less than 5. Okay? So what's your current financial situation? What's your savings? How much money in your business account? Your LLC, personal monthly business expenses, monthly expenses personally, spouse income. All of these things come into play. Third question. What scripts do you use, and how well do you have them mastered? Now, those of us who have been in the business a little while, who aren't Juan, we will tend to say, oh, well, I know what to say. I just say it. And that's not the wrong answer, but that means I'm not using scripts and I don't know how well I have them mastered. It's not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but we'll get to what it could mean if you don't have scripts and if you don't have them mastered later on as we get into diagnosing and as we get into treating this condition. Right now, we're just evaluating it. So what scripts do you use and how well do you have them mastered? Next, what is your schedule and how well do you follow it? So there's no judgment attached here. It's not like, hey, you didn't follow your schedule. I'm just asking you, do you have a schedule and how well do you follow it? What is your morning routine before you show up for work, before you show up to your office? What is your morning routine? What are the things that you do prior to coming to the office? Is it I wake up after hitting my alarm clock 17 times, rush to get the kids breakfast, send them off to school, and then I sit down in front of my computer and I check my emails, and that's how I start my day, right? That's my morning routine. So what is your morning routine before you show up in the office? Describe that to someone, to me. So I would be asking you this question if I was coaching you. Do you prospect? How much? And how consistent? So do you prospect, yes or no? Yes. Great. How much? How many times have I heard the usually that means I only prospect when I have to, and I'm not consistent. So do you prospect? How much and how consistent? Next, can you show me, I'm not asking you to see it, but can you show me, and it's not P and L, it's P and L. So P and L, which is your profit and loss statement, your budget for your business. Do you actually have one? Can you show me your P and L? Next, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it that you make money immediately? So if you're in a funk and there's trouble, is this, oh my God, I need to have a closing by the end of the month, or, I can't, pay my mortgage payment. Or, what is that? What is the level of urgency around making money immediately? Next, what is your social media and video strategy? I'm not asking you if you're using it that effectively. I'm just asking you, what is your strategy, right? Next, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your daily personal psychology. Here's what I have found. People that consider themselves in a funk rate their daily personal psychology under 5. Usually if it's over 5, we don't necessarily think we're in a funk and we're working towards solutions. We're in solution mode as opposed to being in problem mode. So on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your daily personal psychology. So here's what we do with this information. Here's what I would do with this information as your coach. I'm going to begin to use this to see where we need to focus when it comes to jump-starting your real estate business. So here's what we are going to work on through this process. These are the areas that we would work on based upon what we've triaged from those diagnosis questions. We're going to talk about it. We're going to work on lead conversion. Do I have leads that I'm not converting? Do I have leads that I'm not calling? Do I have this group of 25 or 30 or 100 people that are just sitting in my database that I haven't worked with yet, or that I haven't moved along? What is your personal psychology? We're definitely going to work on personal psychology. The discipline of your lead generation. So if you are not disciplined in your lead generation, this is one of the things that we are going to jump right into full force. We're going to talk about your buyer or seller presentation. What I have found so many times is an agent, especially an agent who's been in the business for a while, when their presentation gets stale, they get discouraged because they don't feel authentic in how they're talking to a prospective buyer or seller. It doesn't feel good to them, and so they stop saying it or they stop doing it effectively. Scripts and dialogues for the chosen lead source. So what I have found when it comes to scripting is, if I am scripted, now this can be forensic scripting, that's okay. So if you know what you're saying, write it down, record it, right? And then your coach can help you to determine, are there tweaks that need to happen within your scripts and dialogues for that lead source that are going to help you on the direction of jumpstarting that lead source and the interaction with your leads. Next, we are definitely, one of the things we're going to work on is we are going to dig into your database of your past clients and your center of influence, right? So your sphere and your past clients. All right. We're also going to get you into doing open houses. So I'll talk about this later in a minute. There are literally 3 things that we can do to immediately jumpstart your career. We're going to dig into them. But before we do that, we're going to talk about what we're not going to work on. And I want you to watch this list, because what you're going to see is this next list that I'm going to put up here, the what not to work on list, are the things that most agents do when they're in a funk. So this is what most of us do when we're in a funk. We decide we need to add a new lead source. You know what, Chris? Things just aren't going well. I think I'm going to start working expireds. Or, oh wow, this has just been a beating these past couple of months. I think I'm gonna stop using Make It Rain and I'm gonna start farming. These aren't bad things, but these aren't the things that we should do if what we're currently doing isn't working. We should not be adding new lead sources. We should be focusing on our core 4 and making that core 4 operate at its highest level. If you've forgotten what the core 4 is, the core 4 are your center of influence, your geographic farm, open houses, and online leads. Do not add a new lead source. Oh, you know what, Chris, things just aren't going well. I think I'm going to start dabbling in expireds or dabbling in for sale by owners. No, don't dabble. This is a business. Hold off on adding a new lead source. Hold off on spending any money at all. If you're in a funk, the solution is not to throw money at it. If you don't fix the system, you will be just throwing your money away. So the answer is not the person who's been calling you every 4 days about doing next door ads, or Back at You Media says it's your Facebook ads that aren't working. No. Don't spend money. This is not the time to spend money. This is the time to change our activities and our actions. And then once we've done that, we can invest more money to increase our ROI on our lead sources. Top of the funnel activities. So what this means is your greater database, the things that are way out on the fringes to be attractive there, your long-term incubation things. No. This is not a time for top of the funnel. It's bottom of the funnel activities. We want to be re-engaging with the people who can refer us business or do business with us right away. And we're going to dig into exactly how we do that. Here's what else we're not going to work on: just your mindset. Because it's not just your mindset. It's also, there are issues with your systems and your processes, or you wouldn't be in a funk. The age-old conversation, Bettina and I have had it, my buddy John Cheplack and I have had it, is what comes first, success or motivation? I don't know that I know the answer to that. What I do know is that when I achieve some success, it motivates me. So sometimes I think we try to motivate ourselves externally, when really what we need is some good victories, and those victories will motivate us. The next thing we're not going to do is we're not going to spend an entire call on getting in more touch with our why. there's something that I will disclose to you. I think that we've done a disservice to so many people in the real estate business by having us focus too much on our big why. If you follow John Cheplack, you've seen him talk about it. Tom's talked about it a little bit. Is a lot of times finding your why and identifying with your why, especially for those of us that are high Ds, we're very in touch with our why. And being more in touch with our why isn't going to motivate us further. We need to dig a little bit deeper. Here's what I would say is, instead of focusing on your big why, let's focus on our small why. Why is it important that I prospect today? Why is it important that I do these things today? I need to do it for my mental health. I need to do it for my emotional health. I need to do it so that I show my kids and my family and my friends that I don't give up, right? There are smaller whys that we can dig into today, as opposed to our big whys of, I want to solve world hunger and make sure there's no plastic in the oceans. And here's the next thing that this is for those of you that are watching this to help people jumpstart, right? Is don't be too consultative. If you're helping a friend, or even if you're just analyzing your own business, don't be too consultative. You don't need to, overanalyze and get things, analysis by paralysis. You want to go through those 10 questions. And then really dig in to these 3 areas that I'm going to be taking you right now. So the first area, high-level strategy number 1, is, and I'm sorry that I was messing with my slides before and I couldn't get each bullet point to go out one by one, so bear with me on this, is high-level strategy number 1. If you have leads that you're not converting, either you can't convert or you won't call, or you're not doing what you should do around your leads, this is where I would start first. So if you have, a bunch of leads in your database, either from Make It Rain or old Zillow leads or old conversion, whatever they are, if you've got like this, stockpile of leads that you've stopped working or you're not working effectively, this is where I would start. The first thing I would do is I would go through my leads one by one and talk about where they are in the process, what action you've taken, what objections they've given you, what you think should be your strategy to convert them, and get these in the hands of someone else. If you're not in a coaching relationship, you can definitely send this to me and I can walk you through this, or Bettina or Juan, but you want to get this in the hands of someone who can help you figure out a strategy that's going to work with these people. Now, my assumption is it's going to be not one person has one situation, but you've got, I've got these 20 people that, have that I've talked to and that are avoiding my call, right? Or I've got these people, so you can chunk them into categories. That in the next call, the next interaction with your coach, what you want to do is review what the strategies, make changes, and talk about some different ways that these people can be engaged. Like one of the things that I go to very quickly is video. Most of us are not using video in our lead conversion strategy. I believe that using video in your lead conversion strategy dramatically increases your lead conversion, because it gives people an opportunity to be face-to-face and knee to knee and eye-to-eye with you without actually meeting with you. So videos really help. We talked last week about this, or I think it was with Lewis and Laurie, talking about an email that that comes out from, I think it's from KV Core, that Bettina sends out. What am I doing wrong? I haven't heard from you, and you said you were interested in a house, and I sent you some houses, but what am I doing? I must be doing something wrong because I haven't heard from you recently. And there are different things that you can be doing, both automated and not automated, to help re-engage you with your leads. I'll tell you something that I have used. I'll just throw this out just as to get into tactic real quick. If you were to make this call to every single lead in your database, and you make the call, you send the text message, and then you send an email with this same messaging, you're going to bring deals to the surface. Oh my God, I lost all my data. I can't I don't have my calendar. I lost my data. I don't know when I'm supposed to call you back, but I know that we've been talking about it. I don't know exactly what day it is. Can you tell me when we need to get together to talk about the purchase of the house or the sale of the house or whatever it is? If you tell them that you've had a computer crash and I can't access my data or something along those lines, they jump on, oh, it's fine, Chris. No, we're not buying until next month. Let's talk next week. Or, we've decided to put it on hold. We're not selling this month, right? Well, now's a great time. You will, when you shake that tree, you'll get some of those leaves to fall. After you've gone through and diagnosed this, you're going to want to role play with your coach or role play within your mastermind or role play. Give me a call. I'll role play with you, or Juan and Bettina. Juan is the best role player ever. Role play those highest priority conversations, right? So, if you're sitting there and you've got 10 or 15 people that are supposed to be listing and going on the market in January, February, how should I be engaging with them right now and role play each of those highest priority conversations? And then we get into action, right? So you go ahead and you implement that, and then we talk about it again in 24 hours, right? So one of the things about each of these high-level strategies is it includes at the very end a level of implementation and accountability. And so it's not just figuring out what to do, figuring out what the problem is, figure out what to do. It's then practice this improvement and then have some accountability around the implementation. So high-level strategy number 2. So if you don't have a whole lot of leads and that first high-level strategy doesn't apply, or you've done that, this is the next thing you should do is you want to be digging back into your database of past clients and your center of influence. And here's what I know. I can usually ask a few questions to determine how engaged an agent is with their COI. And this is direction for me, right? Identify and flush out limiting beliefs that you have, that the agent has in getting business from the source. And almost all of us who have stopped working our sphere and past clients have what we believe are legitimate reasons that we have stopped working them. None of those reasons are legitimate, and you need to work through them. And so here's what we do. We try and find out what's limiting beliefs are. I help you to work through them. We're working on mindset. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start with a group of people. And that is, we're going to identify within your center of influence who are your raving fans and advocates, right? So the people that if you use my contact classification system, the VAD, these are your Ds. If you use Mike Ferry's or Tom Ferry's or Brian Buffini's, this is your raving fans, your advocates, right? So these are the people that we need to develop a strategy, and you and I will work together, or you and your coach will work together to develop a strategy for reaching out to these people, calling these people immediately and telling them, I need a referral. I need some business. Could you keep your ears open at work? I know you interact with a lot of people. I could really, I could do me a solid, bro, that type of thing, depending upon your audience. The next thing is looking at your COI and your past clients is to identify the people that have been in the same house for at least 7 to 10 years. And then going through and talking about the what's next. Identifying the people that have recently had a life change. Here's what I have found, especially for those of us who have stopped working our sphere of influence, is we feel uncomfortable because of a life change. Their kids just went off to school. I don't want to bother them. He just got laid off last year. He worked there for 20 years, or they just got a divorce. Divorce is a big one. Nobody wants to call the divorcees. I love calling the divorcees. I love calling both of them, because in an ideal world, it's one sale, it's one listing and 2 sales, right? This literally has doubled my sphere of influence just because of divorce, right? It used to be what was the couple doing, and now I've got 2 separate groups, right? I've doubled my business just because of a divorce. And then you've got to work with your coach and talk through a dialogue for each of these scenarios. And then here's the deal, right? You are going to create your immediate list. these are the people that I'm going to immediately reach out to. I'm not going to talk about the 15, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1 right now. I'll probably tackle that on another call. It's one of Tom's and Bill Pipes' methodologies for reaching out to our sphere. We'll deal with that another time. So you want to create a list of people that your immediate list, and start calling these people on the next 7 to 14 days. Here's what I will tell you. If you dig in and begin prospecting to your center of influence, you will get business. Business will just pop up right at you. A coaching client that I just started coaching went on 3 listing presentations last week, 3 or 4 listing presentations last week, from the prospecting that they did on one day. So it's there. The business is there. High level strategy number 3. Okay, so for those of you who love having your weekends and who are, I'm just too successful to do open houses, if you are, then you probably don't need a Jumpstart. But if you do need a Jumpstart, the best way to Jumpstart is you can get more leads and exposure through open houses. So if I were you, I'd want to talk to you about your limiting beliefs around open houses. Almost all of us have positive experiences from earlier in our career from open houses, or we were never doing them right. And so if you weren't doing them right, then I would definitely send you to my YouTube channel to watch my mega open house training, watch Tom Ferry's mega open house training. You're going to need to make some adjustments to your expectations around open houses, and also shift the focus so that it's not just the person coming to the open house, but the usage of that open house as a beachhead to attack that neighborhood and community. If you are in Jumpstart mode, then in the next 24 hours, you're going to want to have 1 to 3 open houses set for the next week. And here's what I'll tell you. If you're in Jumpstart mode, if you do 3 to 5 open houses a week from now to the end of the year, you will not be in Jumpstart mode anymore. You'll be in momentum, and you'll have people that you're working with. I guarantee that. It's impossible not to do that. So high-level strategies 1, 2, and 3. If you do these, you will jumpstart your business. If you don't, the good thing is, after the holidays, you'll have another opportunity to jumpstart your business. I personally would not want to wait that long because, the people that you're going to be talking to in the next few weeks are your spring listings, right? You've got a chance to grab them before somebody else does. So just so you know, resources for those of you that are EXPers, well, for those of you that are alive, you have access to the Make Money Now Facebook group. Feel free to come in there. I post the slides from these presentations as well as the videos in there in the Make Money Now Facebook group. If you're not a member of the Make Money Now Facebook group, reach out to me or reach out to the person that invited you to this call, and we'll make sure that you are made a member. Workplace by Facebook is our own private EXP Facebook that Facebook has developed for us called Workplace. If you haven't used it, definitely you want to dig in, and if you would like to take a look at it, I can definitely show it to you. The other thing is EXP World, 50+ hours of live training every week. For those of you that are EXP agents, you know where to go. If you're not an EXP agent, reach out to me, reach out to whoever invited you to this call, and we can get you a guest pass so that you can anonymously come in and tour our virtual office. So nobody even needs to know you're there. Nobody's going to hassle you or harangue you. You can just walk around our virtual office and as if you belong there. What's going on this week? What's next? If you need to reach out to me or have questions about what we went over, feel free to do so. Give me a call. If you call and you don't leave me a message, I'm probably not going to call you back. Sorry. So call, leave a message, or send me a text message or an email. I'm better at responding to them. But if for whatever reason you call and I don't answer, please leave a message or text me, and I will definitely reach back out to you. Our talent attraction call is next. As soon as I end this, that's going to start. And then Bettina is doing a presentation at 11. Definitely be there for that. If you would like to understand more about EXP, reach out to one of us. We can get you the link. If somebody could drop the link into the chat, I'd appreciate it. Next, this week, we've got 2 different locations where we're doing a training. On Thursday, Bettina and Juan will be in Allen, and I believe she's finishing up with her Atomic Habits. And I am going to be in, me and Charles and Glenna and Summer, and we're all going to be in Las Colinas. So if that's closer, join us there. And we are going to be addressing our envelopes and stuffing our envelopes for Christmas cards, and talking about a Christmas card strategy for both talent attraction and working our sphere of influence. And we'll have extra cards if you want to come and learn what my Christmas card strategy is. I'd love to share it with you, and it's a workshop-y type environment. As far as I know, we will not be having. We are going to have this, the Make Money Now coaching call, next Monday. We're not going to be taking off for the holidays. Each Monday we're going to have it. But I believe that we're going to be off in Las Colinas and in Allen on Christmas and on New Year's, right? So for 2 weeks, we'll be back with you next. And if I'm not mistaken, Building an Empire is going on hiatus until after the new year as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hit boom. I'm going to end the record, stop recording. And